Hey everybody, Serbot42 here. It's been a while, hasn't it? Where have I been? Well, playing the new RE2 remake, of course. And I gotta say, this game is amazing. 10 out of 10. I am being pretty biased though. I mean, how could I not? If you haven't noticed, I love Resident Evil 2.
Oh wow, yes. Some chick player, badass chick player, goes and gets to shoot all these zombies and stuff, and she's just the superhero.
Yeah. Anyways, that's not why you're here. You're here for the cut content that's in the demo, and let me tell you, I won't disappoint. In this video, we're going to cover all the items in the game, including the infamous Calico 950, which can be used. Sorta. I will be your guide, who will be guided by Versus books. So credit goes to Nick Rocks the Bars, who created all the Game Shark stuff. First things first, there is a rule that cannot be broken. I'll only read a bit of it, so Einstein word of warning. Since the majority of these codes take you into areas you're not meant to be in, very little of the text has been translated. Therefore, general rule is look but don't touch. Don't do anything that would produce a text response. This is usually confined to general searching. You can still perform item-based puzzles and pick items up, just don't look at anything. If you do, the game will crash hard. There is the odd occasional area which had been translated, but it's really not worth the risk. Now, for me, it's worth all the risk. This rule is mostly aimed towards the locked rooms, but this does apply somewhat to the items. Don't worry, I'll show you everything that's possible. Oh, I'll also post up all the Game Shark codes so you can do it yourself. Just remember, you need the 1.99 version to do this, which means you need the little box and the PS1 that can connect it. You need the box. With that being said, grab a Cho Cola as I guide you to Resident Evil 2 Director's Cut. So here it is, the items section. As you can see, on the left side we got Resident Evil 2 for the American version, and on the right side we have Biohazard 2, obviously for the Japanese version. With all these lists of codes, you'll see the last four are letters, double X and double I. As it says on the how to use, double X will give you the number of the item that you want, but honestly, just put everything as double F so that you can have 255 of everything. And YY will give you the specific item. And as you can see, it's just a list of items here that we'll see. All the weapons are pretty much in the game. Some of them can't be used and they'll crash when you try to use them. And as well as some never before seen items and Japanese translations. I'll do my best to translate this. I am using Google Translate and it does its best, but as you can see, it's not that great. So, without further ado, The Calico 950, a mystery indeed. As the thumbnail says, this weapon does crash in a demo, but you can still play it in the final version of the game. Kind of. You're gonna need the first printing of Resident Evil 2. You know, the one with the sweepstakes for that terrible movie. All you gotta do is go into your GameShark and then have Leon equip the Colt SAA, and instead of Claire's weapon, you're gonna get the Calico, which is right here. It shoots blanks and it has Claire's gun noise. That's about it, but it's there. You can actually kinda use it, you can wave it around, but you can't hurt anything with it. My theory is that this weapon belonged to the suspect that was found skulking in the sewers. Maybe a laser sight was going to be implemented in the game? Who knows? By looking at the files on the disk, it appears to have been a weapon for Ada. It's fascinating to me that this weapon was considered far in development past the demo.
What the thumbnail and description was referring to is that at one point in the game you were only supposed to pick up grenade rounds. More on this later though. Something to note with the following items. Parts A, B, and C all have the same description. Parts A and Parts B cannot combine with the handgun or magnum respectively. Parts B's image reads Part C, and Part C has the shotgun parts image. You can combine Part C with the shotgun to make the custom shotgun, but checking the item still gives the description for the regular shotgun. The notes that the thumbnail is referring to is that Chemical A and B can be combined with grenade rounds to create fire or acid rounds. Both items have the same description, while Recovery Chemical is different. Combining Chemical A and B will create the Recovery Chemical, which doesn't really make sense when you think about it. It seems that at one point in development, you were only going to pick up grenade rounds, and you had to create fire and acid rounds. Seems like the developers wanted to have an ammo creation system, something we fully get to see in Resident Evil 3. The notes that the keycard thumbnails are referring to are rooms that should be unlocked, but nothing really happens when you use them. There is no meeting room in the game, unless that's what the name of the briefing room was originally going to be. The yellow keycard does not say what room it opens. Maybe the library? That's just my guess though. The keycard was probably never assigned a lock at this stage of development. You can use all the keycards on the computer, and they each count how many electric locks are opened, but that's about it. Pseudo weapons is a game shortcode that allows you to access the weapons that would normally make the game crash. Just replace XX with the number of the weapon you want from the item list, and whatever gun you have equipped will fire those bullets. Most of these don't deal damage, they're only there for graphical effect, and other weapons like the rocket launcher will crash when you shoot an enemy. the have all files codes allows you to have all files. The first 4 files can be read, all the others make the game crash. The first one, Chris's diary, remains unchanged because you obtained this in the demo. The fax is in English, but it's hard to read. Memo to Leon and Police Memorandum are written in Japanese. Although the rest crashed the game, we can still see the file names, which are pretty interesting. I almost wish there were EX files from the N64 version. Before I continue, I do want to point out 2 codes that are only available for the Japanese version of the demo. According to Versus Books, 60 FPS mode runs the game at 60 frames per second when there are only 4 or less zombies. Game Freeze freezes the game when you move the Game Shark button up. Additionally, flip the Game Shark button up when the speech begins in the gun shop to hear the voice that didn't make it in the final game. Again, because I don't have the Japanese demo, I don't have that clip, but if I find it online, I'll post a link in the description. Well, that wraps up all the items locked in the demo. In my last video I said I was going to go over the rooms, but I decided to get the items out of the way since it was a lot to cover. In part 3, I'm going to show you all the rooms, any differences, and where the game crashes. So until next time, thank you for watching.